For the first time in NBA history, an alien will be taken as the first overall pick of the NBA draft. That is, according to LeBron James. For the past few years, the NBA has been salivating over this 19-year-old kid. Coaches and scouts see a can't-miss organizational cornerstone. Team owners see an unprecedented financial windfall. One team president even told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowksi that drafting Victor Wembanyama might add as much as $500 million to the value of your franchise. But where did this kid with the out-of-this-world physical gifts and insane talent come from? Come along as we follow Victor Wembanyama on his way to the NBA and find out why LeBron, Giannis, Steph, and so many more are beyond hyped up for this extraterrestrial talent. Contrary to LeBron's claims, Victor Wembanyama is actually from this planet. He was born in Le Chesnay, France, to a family of athletes. Let's start with his dad, Felix. His Congolese father was a track and field athlete who competed in the high jump, long jump, and triple jump. His mom, Elodie, played professionally and later coached youth basketball. His older sister, Eve, also plays professional hoops in Monaco and helped steer France to the gold medal at the FIBA Under-16 European Championships in 2017. His younger brother, Oscar, is also an up-and-coming basketball stud, already measuring in at 6'6" at just 15 years old. He recently signed with Asvel's Under-18 program in the French League. Heck, even his grandparents played ball as well. It would be fair to say, Victor was born with basketball in his DNA. But Victor didn't actually start out playing basketball. Like many European children, he grew up playing soccer, often as a goalkeeper. He also tried out judo of all things before getting into basketball. His mother played a massive influence on his love for the game. Victor tagged along as she coached in youth leagues. At age 7, he started playing for Entente La Chesnay Versailles before a mistake led to his discovery. Nanterre head coach Michel Alla happened to watch one of their games and saw young Victor sitting on the bench. Alla mistook a 10-year-old Wembanyama for an assistant coach. After seeing Victor play that day, Alla called the technical director in charge of the Under-11 program at JSF Nanterre to tell him about what he just witnessed. Soon enough, Wemby became a part of Nanterre 92 program, joining the club's youth division. Alla wasn't the only one enamored with Wembanyama's alien-like combination of size, athleticism, and skill. Even NBA player Nicolas Batum couldn't keep his eyes off the French phenom. Batum just finished practice with the French national team when he first saw the then 14-year-old kid shooting around nearby. The French team was supposed to leave following practice, but the NBA veteran let the team bus go ahead and stay to witness more of this amazing specimen. At 15 years old, Wembanyama officially made his professional debut with the Nanterre 92 senior team. He didn't really see much playing time during his first year in the pro ranks, just some garbage minutes in a couple of games. But even at that young age, Wemby wasn't afraid to break out of the norm either. His former youth coach at Nanterre recalled the first thing Victor did when he first stepped foot on the floor for them. "I put him in, and on his very first play, he ran corner to corner. He got the ball on the move, stopped on a dime in front of the three-point line, and shot it. You'd think with his size, he'd look to dominate inside, but he showcased his skill set, and he wasn't afraid to do so." It didn't take long for Wemby to rise up the ranks. In February 2020, he suited up for Nanterre's Under-18 club at the Cannes qualifying tournament for the Adidas Next Generation tournament. He earned all tournament team honors with averages of 16 points, 12 rebounds, and a tournament-leading 6 blocks per game. Later that year in September, he made his LMB Pro A debut. He suffered a stress fracture in his fibula in December and missed over 2 months of action. Upon his return, Wemby started to get more playing time and kick-started his ascension. He ended the season averaging 7 points and 5 rebounds and was named Pro A Best Young Player. In June 2021, Wembanyama signed a 3-year deal with Asvel in the Pro A and Euro League. His first season with the club was marred by injuries. Despite that, he still won Pro A Best Young Player for the second year in a row. He finished the Pro A season with averages of 9 points and 5 rebounds. In the EuroLeague, he tallied averages of 7 points and 4 rebounds and finished second in voting for the EuroLeague Rising Star Award. After the season, he opted out of his contract with Asvel and signed with Metropolitan 92. In October 2022, the American media finally got their glimpse of the alien from France. Metropolitan 92 flew across the Atlantic to play 2 exhibition games against the NBA G League Ignite, who featured fellow top-rated prospect Scoot Henderson. The game was nationally televised. Over 200 scouts and NBA executives were in attendance, and Wembanyama did not disappoint. He went off in the first game with 37 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 blocks in a losing effort. The next game, his squad bounced back with a 112-106 win led by his 36 points and 11 rebounds. The NBA was sold. They now knew this kid was the real deal. The league started streaming all of Metropolitan 92's games on the NBA app. In the 2022-23 season, Wembanyama crushed the competition. He averaged 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks, and earned the Pro A MVP, becoming the youngest ever to win the award. The hype surrounding Victor Wembanyama has been absolutely galactic, and NBA players are already gearing up for the arrival of this monster. Steph Curry said he's like an NBA 2K creation, a 7-foot cheat code with guard-like skills. Giannis Antetokounmpo said he thinks Wemby is the future prototype for NBA big men. Huge, athletic, and can handle like a guard. He warned the league, get ready, because if you're not ready, this kid's gonna be a problem. A big problem. We already know what Woj said about him. Wow, talk about no pressure. But Woj is not alone in his assessment that Victor Wembanyama just may be the most tantalizing prospect in the history of professional sports. The Ringer's Kevin O'Connor wrote that Wemby is Generation Z's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and can have a similar change-the-game type of impact. These predictions aren't just clickbait traps from writers. Wemby runs like a gazelle in the open floor, is an imposing presence inside the paint, and an outstanding rim protector on the defensive end. To make matters worse, he also possesses Kevin Durant's ability to handle the ball, make moves off the bounce, and shoot pull-up three-pointers in transition. The only difference being that he's about 5 inches taller. It's safe to say Wemby's combination of size, skill, and athleticism will be a nightmare for NBA defenses. The draft gods smiled on the San Antonio Spurs once again in May 2023, when they won the NBA draft lottery for the 3rd time in their history. Taking prized big men with the #1 overall pick is nothing new in San Antonio. In the early 90s, David Robinson revived a franchise dormant since the finger-rolling days of the Iceman, bringing back winning ways and making the Spurs a perennial threat in the playoffs. Greg Popovich took the reins during an injury-riddled 96-97 season that allowed the Spurs to win the Tim Duncan sweepstakes in the 1997 NBA Draft. Robinson and Duncan formed a twin tower duo in the post that the rest of the league struggled to deal with. The pair led San Antonio to a pair of championships in 1999 and 2003. Popovich and the Spurs lost David Robinson to retirement in 2003, but a series of shrewd draft selections paired Tim Duncan with Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. The Big Three would go on to cement the Spurs' place among the top franchises as they won 3 more championships for San Antonio. But ever since the retirements of championship stalwarts Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili, the struggle to rebuild in San Antonio has been real. The Spurs have not been able to find their way back to glory. They've whiffed on a number of draft picks and haven't attracted top-tier free agents. Missing the playoffs has become a reality that doesn't sit well with this proud franchise. In June, Greg Popovich and the Spurs will attempt to reclaim their post amongst the NBA elite when they add an out-of-this-world talent who seems poised to make NBA championships and San Antonio synonymous once again.